we revised most of the rules that we studied in the two lessons, Coordinate System 1 and Coordinate System 2. So what we did yesterday was a revision exercise of most of the rules that we have seen in the lesson Coordinate System. So please, if you weren't with us yesterday on Zoom, again, solve this exercise to practice the rules of the lesson Coordinate System. Today, I'm going to discuss a new rule. So, please pay attention. سامعين صوتي واضح? Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to discuss today is a rule. You understand, you study the rule, you memorize the rule, and you apply it when you are asked about this thing. Prove that 3 points in a system of axes are collinear. Please, I want you to look at the word collinear. Before I start discussing what I prepared, I will give you, this is a point. This is another point. And this is another point. As you can see in front of you, I have drawn 3 points in front of you. What we mean by collinear is, if I draw a straight line, the 3 points will be collinear if the straight line passes in them. As you can see, the red straight line that I drew passes in the 3 points that I have. So we say that this point, and this point are collinear points. Suppose I gave you, for example, this one. I have given you, this is a point, this is another point, and this is the third point. I want to ask you guys, through these 3 points that you see in front of you, can we draw a straight line passing through the 3?
Yeah.
No.
No, we cannot.
Wait,
No.
which one? The other one? Yeah, no.
Amir, this point, and this point. These 3
no.
points are given to you. Can I draw one straight line passing through the 3 points?
No.
No. It's impossible to draw, as I can draw a straight line passing through this point and this point, right?
Yeah.
I can draw another straight line passing through this point and this point. Also, I can draw another straight line passing through this point, passing through this point and this point. But can we draw one straight line passing through the 3 here? Can we?
No, we cannot.
Okay, so I want you to look at this figure here. When I have 3 points that are not collinear, what shape do I get?
Triangle.
A
triangle.
triangle. A triangle. So if I have 3 points in which I can draw a straight line passing through them, we call them collinear points. If we have 3 points that I cannot draw a straight line passing through the 3, I got a shape which is the triangle, and these 3 points, I call them non-collinear points. So in the first figure, I have 3 collinear points. In the second figure, I have 3 non-collinear points. Did you get the point of collinear and non-collinear, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So What I'm going to discuss now, if we are given a system of axes, and in the system of axes, we located any 3 points, how can we prove that these 3 points are collinear? Again, when we talk about the word collinear, what we mean by collinear is 3 points that belong to the same straight line. Please look here. Given the 3 points, A, which has coordinates 0, 1, B has coordinates 2, 5, and C has coordinates -3, -5. So we are given 3 points, A, B, and C. The question is, show that the 3 points A, B, and C are collinear. To prove that 3 points are collinear, how can we prove this? What is the rule here? I want to ask you guys. I said 3 points collinear if they belong to the same straight line. What is the most important thing that we should care for in a straight line? Who remembers? Yes?
We should find the slope.
سارة أنا ما عم أقول لك شو لازم نلاقي، أنت لازم تقولي لي أهم شيء بالستريت line. The most important thing in the straight line is having a slope, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's having a slope. طيب شو رأيكم إنهم هن they have or they form the same straight line؟ يعني شو لازم يكون عندهم؟ same شو؟ the same
Scissors line.
guys.
Miss, your voice keeps cutting out for me.
Okay.
Same for me.
The net is somehow very bad today. Okay. I will try to talk, and if you have missed anything, tell me. We said that 3 points are collinear if they belong to the same straight line. And the most important thing in a straight line is it has a slope. So if 3 points belong to the same straight line, then if A, B, and C are collinear,
all of them have the same slope?
Yes. If the slope of line AB is equal to the slope of line BC. Look at the first 2 points, A and B. So if I find the slope of a straight line AB and the slope of a straight line BC, if I got the same answer of the 2 slopes, then the 3 points A, B, and C will be collinear. Okay, guys? So we should first find the slope of line AB. Who can remind me what is the rule of slope of a straight line AB that we studied in coordinate system 1? Who can remind, or coordinate system 2? Who can remind me of the rule of the slope of line AB? متذكرة يا هادي؟ slope of line AB متذكرة؟
Yeah, slope like بتطلعها
كيف بنطلع السلوب للاين يا هادي؟
y لل A minus ال y لل B over x لل A minus ال x لل B.
برافو، هيدي هي الرول للسلوب للستريت لاين. YA as Hadi said, YA minus YB equal, over XA minus XB. So what we do first, we should find the slope of AB, YA minus YB over XA minus XB. Of course, we have the ordinate
over 0 minus 2.
Yes, so 1 minus 5 over 0 minus 2. 1 minus 5, what's the answer?
Minus 4.
0 minus 2? is -2. I should simplify the fraction -4 over -2. Negative over negative is positive, and 4 over 2 is 2. So slope of line AB is 2. Now we should find the slope of line BC. Yes, سيرين فيك تقولي لي شو الرول للسلوب of line BC؟ سيرين موجودة معي أنت ولا لا؟ طيب بلا سيرين خليني أسأل عباس. Slope of line BC عباس equal
Okay, the internet is a little bit not good. Okay, the slope of line BC is equal to YB minus YC over XB minus XC.
bravo. YB is 5 minus YC is -3. So I replace, YC is -5. I replace it between parentheses. XB is 2 minus XC is -3. I replace it between parentheses. Negative times negative is positive, and negative times negative is positive. So 5 plus 5 is 10. 2 plus 3 is 5. 10 over 5 is also equal to 2. As you can see, the slope of line AB is 2. The slope of line BC is 2. Since the slopes are equal, then the 3 points A, B, and C are collinear. So again, to prove collinear points, we take the first 2 points and we find their slopes. We take the second point with the third point, we find the slopes. If the slopes are equal, then the 3 points will be collinear. Is this clear, guys, how we prove 3 points in a system of axes are collinear?
Yes.
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
question about
Yeah.
what I discussed now? Any question about this?
No.
No question, it's
No
clear?
question. Yes, clear.
Okay, so this is how we prove 3 points in a system of axes are collinear. This is the rule. The slope of the first 2 points should be equal to the slope of the second point with the third point. أكيد مش دايما اسمهم A و B و C. إذا أعطيتكم E, F, G يعني بيكون عندنا slope of EF equal slope of FG. إذا أعطيتكم MNP بيكون عندنا slope of MN is equal to the slope of PN, okay, or NP. So the name of the points, of course, may change from one question to another. Now, this is also very important. How to determine the coordinates of a point of intersection of 2 lines in a system of axes. Please, I want to give you 1 minute to read the question and try to think how we locate the two lines D and L, because I'm going to ask you after you read. You have only 1 minute. Okay, guys. Also, before I start with this part of the lesson, I want to show you something. We know that when we talk about straight lines, we said they might be parallel to each other, they might be perpendicular to each other, and they might be intersecting lines. For example, if I gave you, this is a straight line, I will call this straight line D. So we have a straight line D, and we have another straight line, which is L. How are these two straight lines? Can you tell me? How are they?
Intersecting.
They are
Intersecting.
intersecting lines. As we all know, when we talk about intersecting lines, they have a point of intersection. For example, let me call the point of intersection between D and L, I will call it A. So what we are going to do in this section is, in a system of axes, we might have two intersecting lines at a point. We will determine the coordinates of the point of intersection. What will be the abscissa of A and what will be the ordinate of A in a system of axes, which is the point of intersection between the two lines that we have drawn. So to do this, I have given you in an orthonormal system, x prime or x, y prime or y, the two straight lines D, which is y equal x minus 2, and L, y equal 2x plus 1. So we are given two straight lines D and L. The first question I asked you is, we should plot line D and L. So this is line D. Please, I want to ask Mahdi. Yes, Mahdi. I want to plot line D. To plot a line in a system of axes, what should we do? Yes, Mahdi? Mahdi, do you hear
Miss,
me?
are you calling me?
Yes, Mahdi. I want to plot line D in the system of axes. How do we plot a straight line in a system of axes? What should we do?
We need to find its slope first.
Okay, what is the slope of line D?
We need to find its slope.
What is that? This is the line D, Mahdi. D is y equal x minus 2. I want to draw it, Mahdi, to draw the line. To draw any line in a system of axes, what should we do? We draw a table, right, Mahdi?
Yeah.
So we draw a table, Mahdi. To draw any line in a system of axes, we should draw a table. In the table, we take two values, x and y. What is the first value you take for x, Mahdi?
0.
So if x is equal to 0, let me replace 0 here. 0 minus 2, I will get?
Y will be minus 2.
Okay, the second value for x I will take is 1. If I replace 1, 1 minus 2, the answer is?
1 minus 1.
Okay.
No, 0. Sorry.
Minus 1. Let
Minus
us
1.
plot these points to draw the line. So if x is equal 0, y is equal to minus 2. This is the minus 2 here. I put an x. If x is equal to 1, this is x equal 1, y will be minus 1. The second point will be here. So what I do is I connect this point with this point and I get, this is a straight line D. Okay, Mahdi, this is how we plot a straight line in a system of axes. Please don't forget. Now we should plot line L. Yes, يا آدم, وينك معي أنت؟ آدم؟ يا آدم. آدم هلأ أنا عطيتك line L, y equal 2x plus 1. I want to plot it in the axes. شو لازم أرسم لأعمل له plot؟ مثل ما عملنا فوق يا مهدي يا آدم سوري آدم هون رسمنا تيبل شو بنعمل هون كمان؟
نرسم تيبل.
We draw a table يا آدم دايما بس بدنا نعمل plot line we draw a table. In the table we take a value for x and a value for y. Always the first value I take for x is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So if x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, 2 plus 1, y will be 3. Now let us plot 0, 1. If x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1, so this is the 1. If x is equal to 1, y will be equal to 3. This is way, and at this point and this point, I connect them together, so I get this is line L. As you can see, I want you to look at the red line D and at the blue line L. How are these two straight lines? They are intersecting lines. So how are the two lines D and L? We say D and L are intersecting lines. This is the point of intersection. Do you see the point of intersection, guys, here? This is the point of intersection of the two lines. I will call this point of intersection, I will call it A. So let the point of intersection be A. This is the point of intersection. هلا شو بدي أنا لاقي؟ I want to find the coordinates of A. What should be the abscissa of A and what will be the ordinate of A? مش بيجي أنا هون بقول I draw a vertical line لأعرف الأبسسة I draw a horizontal line لأعرف الأوردينيت. اوعكم تعملوها هيك. Please, there is a rule to find the coordinates of a point of intersection between two lines in a system of axes. Step by step, I want to ask you, and who knows, please directly answer. A, as you can see, is the intersection between D and L. Amir.
Yes, miss.
Can we say that point A belongs to line D or no?
Point A?
This point A
Yes.
is the intersection. Does it belong to line D?
It can belong to line D.
It is on line D. It belongs to line D because it is the intersection of the two lines. It belongs to both. It belongs to line D and it belongs to line L, right?
Yeah.
So we say, now how can we find the coordinates of point A? We say A belongs to line D. What do I mean when I say A belongs to line D? مين في اللي? Then what? شو يعني نقطة موجودة على اللاين? Then what? Who knows? ولو؟ Yes, Column.
A equal XA minus 2.
I was about to say this. So yeah, basically becomes y equals to xa minus 2, as the person said.
Yes, but what do you mean by this column? We mean that the coordinates of A satisfy line D. هيدا اللي قلتيه انت يا نورجان. The coordinates of A satisfy line D, right?
Satisfy the equation. Yeah. Satisfy the equation.
So we can write this is line D. Since A belongs to line D, then the coordinates of A satisfy line D. Then I can write YA is equal to XA minus 2 as Nurjan said. Is this true or no, guys?
It's true.
Okay. Also, point A belongs to line L. This is the second thing. A belongs to line L. Then what? يا جماعة. A belongs to line L other than column, I want the others to share me, to participate.
Is it gonna be the same, but the last one is different?
Yes.
Why? This is
Amir,
gonna be YA
Amir,
equals
I
XA.
want you to understand something very important. Don't memorize, understand. When a point belongs to a straight line, then the coordinates of the point will satisfy the straight line. So if A belongs to line L, this is the equation of line L, right?
Yeah.
Then the coordinates of A satisfy the ordinate of A, the ordinate of L, and the abscissa of L. Then we can write YA is equal to 2XA plus 1. This is true or no?
Yeah.
So A belongs to line D, then the coordinates of A satisfy line D, YA is equal to XA minus 2. Also, A belongs to line L, then YA is equal to 2XA plus 1. What do you understand from both equations, this one and this one? What do you see in both equations, guys? Yes?
Voice Kara, what did you say?
I said Amir, if we look at the first equation and at the second equation, YA equal XA minus 2, YA equal 2XA plus 1. What do you notice from both equations?
I think they're flipped.
They are not
No,
flipped.
they're both equal to YA. They're both equal to YA.
They are both equal to YA. Here we have YA and here we have YA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so since this YA in the first equation is equal to YA in the second equation, then this side will be equal to this side, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
technically, yeah.
So since YA is equal to YA, then the second side, XA minus 2, will be equal to 2XA plus 1. Now this is an equation that can be solved. All x on one side and all numbers on the other side. So if I take 2XA to the first side, it becomes minus 2XA. If I take minus 2 to the second side, it will be plus 2. Now XA minus 2XA is minus XA. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now XA is equal to minus 3. I got the abscissa of A, which is XA equal minus 3. Again, so because A belongs to line D, then the coordinates of A satisfy line D. I write YA equal XA minus 2. هيدي ما اخترعتها من عندي، هيدا line D بحط ال A بقلبه. نفس الشيء A belongs to line L, then YA is equal to 2XA plus 1. In line L, I also replace A here and A here. Now, since this side YA is equal to YA, then these two sides will be equal to each others. So I got the abscissa of A. مش الحال لحد هون؟
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I found the abscissa. How can I find the ordinate? مين بيقول لي؟ كتير سهلة صارت. How can we find the ordinate, guys?
Replace x by the given number, basically.
Thank you, Column. أنا هلا بدي أحكي مع كل البقايا يلي أنا عم علمهم، ولو طب ما هيها جبناها للإكس A equal minus 3. هون أنتوا عندكم two equations، عندكم الأولى وعندكم الثانية. إذا هيدي الماينس 3 حطيناها بالأولى بنطلع الواي A، أو إذا حطيناها بالثانية كمان بنطلع الواي A. يعني هيدي الأبسسة تبعت ال A اللي طلعناها هون فينا نعمل لها ريبليس يا بالإيكويشن الأولى يا بالإيكويشن الثانية، محل ما بدكم بيطلع نفس الجواب. ليه؟ لأنه هيدي الإكس A satisfy the first equation and satisfy the second equation. هون نحن كأنه عم نحل system of two equations. إذا أنتوا لاحظتوا بأول equation عندي y و x، بتاني equation عندي y و x. فإذا بس طلعنا ال x بحيلا equation فينا نطلع ال y إذا حطينا ال x اللي طلعناها. I will take the first equation ya equal xa minus 2 and I will replace x equal minus 3 in it. So إذا عملنا replace بيطلع ال ya is equal to minus 5. So the coordinates of a will be minus 3 minus 5. فإذا يلي عملته هون it's very easy. أنا ما شرحت شيء جديد، كلهم جبتهم من أشياء شرحيتهم قبل. So how can we find the coordinates of a point of intersection between two straight lines? من بعد, after I draw the figure, you have seen that A belongs to the first straight line and it also belongs to the second straight line. Then the coordinates of A satisfy the first line and it also satisfies the second line. After putting this, I can see that here ya is equal to this ya. So I take this side is equal to this side and I find the abscissa of A. To find the coordinate, the ordinate of A, I take any of these two equations. I can take the first equation or the second equation. I replace the abscissa of A in it to get the ordinate of A. Any question, guys?
No.
No.
طيب
No,
هلا
no,
انتوا
miss.
قاعدين وعم تطلعوا بالكمبيوتر او التليفون اللي عم تحضروا عليه ما بعرف وعم تتسمعوا علي. يمكن فهمتوا شوي. لحتى تفهموا أكتر, to understand more, you should
Practice.
apply the same steps I did here. Please apply them on a draft. إذا ما عملتوا apply للsteps على الدرافت you will not understand it لو شرحتها قدامكم مليار مرة. عم تفهموا علي شو عم بحكي؟ So please, after you finish your classes today, apply this exercise and the exercise of collinear points. يعني هول الاثنين يلي شرحتهم اليوم. Please practice them on draft to get all the steps. لأنه دايما بنعمل نفس الsteps ما بنغير شيء. Always when you are asked about collinear point and coordinate of point of intersection, you apply the same steps, the same rules. ما شيء بيتغير. عم تفهموا شو عم بحكي؟ Are you getting what I'm talking? So please practice these two exercises to get the steps, and if you are asked about them in any exercise, you will apply the same steps. Our time is over. We will continue tomorrow when we meet. Any question, guys?